Hi Capricorn, welcome to a new era. My name is Emma. Capricorn, this is your love reading for the upcoming 2 weeks, starting today on Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. On the 14th of February and going up till the 27th of February. Having trouble to say that, pronounce that month. I'm gonna start to shuffle as I talk here a bit, and it is getting a bit of a old story for me to tell, but there's something new every time. So I just want to include you in what's been going on, where it feels like I leave you out from all the rest of the signs. I've had some comments from people, and with people I mean one or two, literally one or two. This is that I talk too much and I shuffle too long, and I should pre-shuffle before I start the recording. I should not do this, I should not do that. And at first I took it to heart. I have to be completely honest. I took it to heart, and I was like, I was a bit lowered by it. I was like, and I tried to respond to one of the people, and what came back was even douchier. So I figured, what contrast is in this? Like, what can I learn from this? Is there something to take away from this? And from what he said, no. But what came out of it is that I do want to tell you, like, he was just get on with the reading, don't talk so much like before I start the reading. And my whole point of, like, for me, this is not a typical tarot reading. First of all, I use the images to get my own guidance and intuition going, and it's good to have something to revolve around, right? So right now when I'm talking to you, it might be boring, but it's still a message. It's still a message that, like, the messages are coming even before the cards are being laid down on the table. That's not when the messages begins. It begins now. I've set the intention before I start the recording, and to, like, give you the highest, most uplifting, inspirational love story that I can give you, that I can find around you for these 2 weeks. And the minute I press the record button, the messages comes through. So what proved that, because now I've told a couple of signs, and the contrast has given me so much back. Like, it's amazing, thanks to that douchebag. And I still learn that there's some beauty in every opposite thing. There's some beauty in every opposite thing. I'm still learning to not react and say, I could do without this, but rather, like, have a shorter and shorter reaction time to it, and then go into, okay, why is that here? What is this gonna bring? And what it has brought me, first of all, is so much love from you guys, like, unbelievably so much love. So many beautiful comments, like, you've just been the best. So I do thank you from the bottom of my heart, especially on this very Valentine's Day. So anyway, I think that's enough shuffling, and if it doesn't want to fly out, well, I continue to shuffle. Yeah, then this beautiful girl, comes back with this beautiful story. I did the reading for Gemini. You probably can find the comment in Gemini, under Gemini, like on the very bottom, where the comments are. She says, so in the middle of a, like, when I started to talk about this, and I think it was for Gemini, the comment was made in Gemini. So when I talked, I was like, I got something in my eye, because I did. And then I overdid everything, and I was like, maybe that's a sign for some of you guys out there, and just made fun of the whole thing. And then also when I started the reading, I got this card that was about Paris. It was around Paris. It was the most romantic setting, blah blah blah, set in France. I get this comment back from this girl that says, you won't believe this. The other day, the wind, and by the way, it was so strong wind outside, and I comment that on the video as well, like, do you hear the wind? So she answers, the wind blew something in my eye, and it hurt so bad that I sort of fell to my knees, and I just, had to get it out. And sort of like in a Hollywood setting, there's a man coming towards her, like asking if she needs help, and she says, I got something in my eye. And for a split second, she's like, oh, are you kidding me? Is this how it's gonna happen? Like, is this my person? And she says some other things as well, and she ends off with saying, by the way, I'm French. And so to me, that just, you know, this little story out of that douchebag comment has exploded into this gorgeous message that me like saying that with my eye, that had nothing to do with the cards, and then bring it together with the cards, that made a whole story from another person adding on, and just, you know, had ripple effect. So I'm just trying to say everything is a message here. And sometimes, like, I listen to somebody else, and if they just keep repeating, you know, you can find that in the description box, you can do blah, 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 blah. They're on repeat. When you feel like somebody's on repeat, it's not interesting. I'll fast forward as well. You can fast forward as long as you see that I'm not like, but I want to let you know that my intention is that the messages are being delivered. I mean, we're 6 minutes into the video. There might even be a message here for you guys now. You might not even realize it right now, but 2 days later, you would be, oh, wait, she said that thing on the video, and now here, you know. So anyway, that's all I have to say about that. And when I shuffle like this, I don't want to leave out, like, I don't want to pre-shuffle, because it helps me when I start to do the recording and I start to shuffle. It's like I'm getting into your energy. I'm picking up your energy while I'll shuffle. So that's why. And I'm waiting for 3 cards to pop out, and sometimes 6 cards will pop out. And I want to leave that open. My intention is 3, but sometimes there's a higher, something wants to come through. And because otherwise I can just do this. I can just sort through them, and whatever stands out to me, like shines, or I get a stop in my head, I could easily do that, but then it will be just 3 cards. So I want to leave it up to spirit or source to have like a say even in the shuffling, okay? Okay. Done explaining, defending. Okay, and after doing this, I had another douchey coming in, and I just started laughing. He was saying all kinds of stuff. He was saying something like, in a minute you're going to start singing. It just makes me puke, or something like that. And I just started laughing, and I was like, oh my God. And then from my oldest son, I found out how you can block people. So no worries for the future. Nasty comments are getting blocked. Maybe. Because I'm all about inclusion and rather heighten my energy. I'll feel it. I feel when it's time to block somebody, and I feel when it's time to just use it to get all these juices out. So maybe you think now, 8 minutes into the video, it's a waste of time. If you do, I'm sorry. If you don't, you're probably meant to be on this channel. You probably are drawn to my energy. I'm waiting for a 3rd card here now to pop out for the lovely Capricorn, my paradise people as I call you, to see what's going on for you guys. I see a trip here coming up from somebody. Maybe you're meeting somebody on a trip. Can I have a 3rd card, please? Or should I just go in and take it? Felt done there, so yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Of course. Okay, 9 minutes. 3 of Raphael. So the first card out here, let's see what sort of, and also I don't know from the very beginning. I wish I knew, maybe I know more clear in the future. Like I get tangled in my hair because my little guy at home, he does this all the time. It's just a mess. I'm sorry. Interesting. That would be one of the things where you click me away. Talking about my hair. That could have been a message. Tangled hair. Anyway, reasons to celebrate. A community of friends. Happy announcements regarding relationships or children. I started out saying that, like, I know immediately what I want to start to talk about. I feel like this is more you being single, a single Capricorn. It can come out, like it can be more towards the committed relationships as well. Sometimes only committed relationships comes out. And I don't know that, is what I started out saying. I might know that in the future. I might be better at just knowing immediately if there's 1 or 2 or 3 stories coming out. But yeah, for now, I'm starting with the single group that I'm picking up this energy from. And it feels like you are literally going on a trip, going somewhere, visiting somebody. It can be like it can be in sunbathing type of trip. It can even be going overseas, or just, you know, on a sort of holiday trip. It can be a trip on 2 days over the weekend somewhere to just visit somebody, something like that. And on that vacation, on that visit, I feel like you're going to meet somebody. And I feel like this is not for everyone. This is for a few Capricorns. I feel like this was your, like you had hopes for this in the past, like you went on a trip in the past, maybe even an organized singles trip, and so you were so excited to go on this singles trip because now you're going to meet your person, and then you ended up coming home with nothing or no one, and it was a huge disappointment or something like that. And so you're a bit like, it's almost like you don't expect it now, and because you don't, they sort of, but you do though. Like I feel like you have it somewhere in the back of your head. I got something in my eye. That is something in the back of your head because you're always looking, sort of type of thing. But this is more like maybe going with your girlfriends or going with your boyfriends, like you're just your friends, going somewhere. And what I feel here is that some of you guys are actually going to meet your partner at this trip or at this little weekend thing. Okay, there's something about, like 3 for me stands for joy, creativity, fun. It's usually around work related things, so it could be that it's work that is going away somewhere, or you're gonna have like these what do you call that in English, board meeting. Bored as in I'm so bored. Board meeting. No, but like, I don't know, maybe just conference trip. Is that what you say? Is that the same in English? Maybe. Yeah, you go away on these trips. Maybe that's something, but the ship is coming in. The partner you're seeking is coming in. I feel like you've been waiting for a while. And then with Raphael here, there's something being healed. So it could mean also that, since it's a general reading, it really can go anywhere. I feel like for some Capricorns, and I don't want to diminish how you felt, but for some Capricorns, I feel like you went on something, you went to do something, you went to meet somebody, or you even went on an organized, like on a planned date, like maybe a blind date, or it was maybe through internet dating. You were supposed to meet somebody and you had such high hopes for it. So after it not working out, you sort of almost shut down a bit, like putting so much into this being like the one, or this time is going to work, or this time I'm going to meet somebody, or now I am going to meet somebody, and this time I feel it, like they're the person, and then they're not. And so I feel for some of you guys, you really have shut down somewhat, and now this trip is coming up again, or this conference thing is being offered, and it's almost offered to the point of just being a way of healing, like closing that wound that you sort of, and I get it, it wasn't just, you know, the trip that didn't work out that just had you shut down. That's usually like the final thing, that was the last straw, like det var droppen, as I would say in Swedish. You've had so many high hopes for so long, and then, you know, it almost like, I give up. It's just not in the cards for me, but it is in the cards for you guys. And I feel you might even go on a trip. You might not go this is not a planned trip to go meet somebody, but it's a trip. And it's almost like you're being pulled to go there because it actually will close, you will heal what you closed down before. So you will open something up after this trip or weekend away or what a conference thing is over. That's what I feel. I don't think it's for couples. I think we're going to continue on the single path here. But when I said that for, I think it was Scorpio, or was it Sagittarius, at the very last, like 3 minutes, 2 minutes, something about like a couple came in anyway. But then I feel like it was meant for the people who was still on the call to pick that up, and the rest didn't miss anything because it wasn't for them anyway. But yeah, you can always find something if you keep listening. And then your source knows, your higher self also knows that if you're going to come on here, they might plant something in there for me that I'm not aware of, that I'm using a word or doing something or showing you hair or something. That is a sign for you. And that it was like 15 minutes in, that's all you needed. That was my sign. That's all I needed. It can be something like that. This next card out is King of Ariel. Like I said, if 3 of Raphael, it doesn't mean anything for me. Tarot speaking. King of Ariels also don't mean anything for me because I don't know what it means tarot wise, but I know what it means for me with the guidance I get. But if it means something to you, if it stands out for you in a way that really is beneficial, if it bogs you down, that's not what Spirit's letting through here. It should lift you up. So King of Ariel, for me, that is just the highest type of love. Ariel for me stands for love. And the pink border here is all about the romantic relationship that is going on in your life. And it's like you're calling them in. It feels like it's a different vibe here. And I'm not saying that I don't feel like you're a sad person or like a depressed person due to that thing where, I mean, there's mermaids and stuff here. It might mean something to somebody. But it's like, yeah, even though you're not with somebody, even though you went on that trip and it sort of almost shut you down in the sense of I'm gonna find my partner, you're still really, I think maybe probably in a place within yourself better off than you've been in a long time. You're all shiny and happy. You're a bit sleazy. You're not sleazy, guys, but the person in the excuse me. The person in the image here is quite smug. Do you say that? Like he's quite full of himself, and I love it. You're supposed to be full of yourself. You're supposed to know how good you are. You're supposed to know what you can offer to the world. That you're such an incredible Capricorn. You're just such a blessing to the world. And I used to call you my paradise people until you had a little dip. And it's not like you're not my paradise people. It's just that you couldn't feel it for a while there. But this is you calling in your person. And I feel like the thing that stands in the way, it doesn't stand in the way, but the thing that is holding it from you for right now is just this one. It's almost like I don't know if you've had this happen to you. If you were in a relationship and it takes that one word or one sentence or one I know it probably is not that one sentence, but it was the last straw. It was the thing that sort of made you go, yes, I know what to do now. Very, very long story short. I was with somebody and of course I felt like it wasn't going anywhere. I've already questioned it. I already knew that, I was probably not supposed to be with this person, but you continue a bit more. You hope that it's going to turn around, stuff like that. That this was way in the past. And this person tells me, and that is me probably 10 years, 10, 15 years ago. And they're telling me, you know, I think that some things, I was sitting dreaming about things, envisioned things for myself, like having fantasies about things that I wanted to do. And he said to me, you know, I think that if those things were something that you were supposed to do, it would have already happened. And I don't see that happening in the future. And that was the call for me. That was the green light for me to end it. That was like all I needed to sort of end this relationship. I knew I could not be with somebody that would not share my visions on, or like have a strong belief that if something was supposed to happen, they were already, like, he was slowly dying, and maybe not telling you my age. Yeah, you know what I mean. If this is a person the other way around, if somebody comes into your life and they just say, it doesn't necessarily have to be anything like that. I'm just trying to say, somebody is delivering something to you, and all of a sudden you know what to do. It's like, or you might watch a video or a movie, or listen to a song, or somebody comes in and just throws a sentence in there, and they have no idea that they're just giving you an opening to something. And it's like you take that, and it's like, and all of a sudden, whatever was blocked, not from you, but whatever block you put up yourself, in an instant, it just goes away. It's like, oh my God, like, I'm open to love. I know now that I am going to be with somebody. I know now that it is going to happen, or something like that. So I feel like, because what I see here, even though it's yummy stuff, it's like a whole table that is sort of what we would say in Swedish, smorgasbord, like a buffet of yummy stuff and fruits and chocolates and all of that. It's still somewhat in the, like, I still see this as a little hindrance. And if somebody just comes in to say something, it's like that whole thing is just going to disappear. It is just going to disappear. And all of a sudden, this person that you're calling in right now, you're wanting, you're attracting, you're pulling them in this very moment. It feels really strong that you do so, that you're doing that. I mean, you might not even be consciously aware that you're doing that. I think for some of you guys, you really are aware. And that one thing that somebody's saying, or one thing that you're seeing a movie, and all of a sudden, like, you come in one way and you leave the movie theater and you go out and you've shifted. Something shifted for you, and you know now what to do. You know now what you want. And all of a sudden, this smorgasbord is gone. No. And there's no hindrance between you guys anymore. All of a sudden, this person can come in. So I don't feel like you're waiting on them. I don't feel like you're waiting for them to get ready. There may be one or two people. I've tried to do the general story for the general group. But you know who you are if you're waiting for somebody. If you know exactly who your person is, and they might even be in another relationship right now, that's a different story. You're calling them in, and there's something. Keep up your good spirit. Keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing great. Like, as a whole, you're doing great. You have very good energy. But it's this one trip that will make you shift things. It's that one line that's gonna have you shift things. That's gonna have you open up to bring this in, to finalize it. Then we have the Magician. The Magician. And I never pull a card like that. I shuffle and they fly out. Or I like stop and I sort through them, and the one that glows or like stands out to me, or I could get a clear stop in my head. It's like, okay, this is what I'm gonna get. I shuffled, and then it was like, and we're done. And it's like I couldn't move the deck. Of course I could, but the feeling was I couldn't move the deck, and I was not supposed to go anywhere. I was not supposed to start looking for the card. It was right here. On top, it was already done. It was right here. It was just to take it, and it was the Magician. So there's something to that don't sort through. You don't have to wonder between different guys, different girls, who this person is. If you're on the internet, you don't have to sort through to get to your person. I feel like it's already done. It's all like you've attracted the energy of the person that you're supposed to be with, right? So we don't have to look any further. Just stay put, just do you as best as you can, have fun and continue on your path, and just know that you can create whatever you want, including a relationship. It's the Magician, and I'm sorry, the program is reversing the card. It says on the bottom, you can manifest the life you want. What you need will magically appear. Successful beginnings. So number one stands for new beginnings, a brand new start. The Magician is all about you can create whatever you want. Whatever you want. And they're no different. Like, they're coming. Don't go look for them. Like, get out of that headspace that you have to find them or go look for them. That's the energy that you're spreading. I don't think too much that's what's going on. The thing that's going on is that you have a tiny bit of a guard up, but it's so light and it's so insignificant that just by one sentence from a person, one movie, and that shifted. It's like you don't have to go to therapy to sort this out, okay? But this, I mean, I should focus on this if I were you. Like, you truly have the magic in your hands right now. You can truly manifest whatever you want, and you're at the stage where you can bring them in. Okay? On this very Valentine's Day, depending on when you listen to this, it's put really good love energy forward. So I hope this helps and uplifts you guys. And I can't wait for you to meet your person, or for you to go on that trip and have it being solved within you, okay? Take very good care of yourself. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope to see you back in a week for your general reading. Take care. Bye.